Ever wondered what stands between a brilliant software idea and its successful execution? It's more than just coding skills and project management. Let me give you a hint. It's a piece of paper that holds the power to make or break your software project. Yes, I'm talking about the software development contract. Hi, this is Eleanor from Team Rahul Dev. Today, we're going to dive deep into the world of these contracts, and I guarantee you, it's more exciting than it sounds. Stay with me as we unravel the mysteries of these critical documents together. Let's start by understanding what a software development contract is. It's basically an agreement between a company and a developer, where the company lays out its requirements and the developer agrees to create the software within a specified time frame. Think of it as the rulebook for your software project. And to illustrate its importance, let's take the example of a real-life case where the lack of a clear contract led to a huge misunderstanding between a startup and a freelance developer, resulting in wasted time, money, and a lot of frustration. You don't want to end up in that situation, do you? So, let's move on to understand what exactly goes into this contract. Here is where it gets interesting. A software development contract is not just about who does what. It's a comprehensive document covering everything from the developer's duties, acceptance criteria, delivery details, to training, support, and maintenance. Let's take developers' duties for instance. These include not just the development of the software, but also answering queries, acknowledging the company's right to terminate the contract, and defining the limit of support. Imagine you're a developer hired by a company. You're working hard to build the software, but suddenly, you're asked to provide extensive after-sales support that wasn't part of the initial agreement. Wouldn't that be unfair? This is why clearly defining duties in the contract is crucial, and we will show you how to draft this part of the contract with a simple, step-by-step guide. Now, let's talk about a critical part of the contract that often leads to disputes. Intellectual property rights. The contract should clearly mention that the company owns the copyrights and other intellectual property rights of the software. This is akin to you hiring a painter to paint a mural on your wall. While the painter created it, you own it because it's on your property. It is well proven that a clear clause on intellectual property rights saved a company from a costly lawsuit. Confidentiality, termination, and dispute jurisdiction are other key areas of the contract. Confidentiality ensures that your trade secrets remain secrets. And as for termination and dispute jurisdiction, you hope you'll never need them, but it's essential to have them in place. We went through a case where a well-defined termination clause allowed a company to end a non-performing contract without legal repercussions. Here is a step-by-step process to draft a software development agreement. Step 1. Identify the parties involved. The first step in drafting a software development agreement is to identify the parties involved. This includes the client who is hiring the developer and the developer who will be creating the software. Step 2. Define the scope of work. Once the parties have been identified, the next step is to define the scope of work. This includes a detailed description of the software to be developed, the timeline for completion, and any specific requirements or features that the client is looking for. Step 3. Determine payment terms. This includes the total cost of the project, the payment schedule, and any additional fees or expenses that may be incurred. Step 4. Include intellectual property provisions. This includes clearly defining the ownership of the software, any copyrights or patents associated with the software, and any restrictions on the use or distribution of the software. Step 5. Include confidentiality and non-disclosure provisions. This includes defining how any confidential information that may be shared during the course of the project, and any restrictions on the use or disclosure of that information. Step 6. Include warranty and liability provisions. This is done to protect both the client and the developer. This includes any warranties or guarantees regarding the software, as well as any limitations on liability in the event of a breach or other issue. Step 7. Include termination and dispute resolution provisions. This includes the circumstances under which the agreement may be terminated, as well as any procedures for resolving disputes that may arise during the course of the project. By following these steps, you can draft a software development agreement that is crisp, researched, and protects interests of all the parties. By now, I hope you have realized that a well-drafted software development contract is not just a piece of paper. It's a shield that protects both the company and the developer, and a roadmap that guides the software development process. And remember, every clause we discuss today can be your ally if you understand it well and use it wisely. Stay tuned for our next video where we will share more practical tips on contracts. Until then, keep coding and keep exploring. Don't forget to hit the like button if you found this video informative and subscribe to our channel for more insights into the tech world. Happy coding!